Simon Dallow, I obviously we keep an eye on the news during the day, and this hadn't come up unless I just missed it. It seems like this was a bit of I'm not sure it was quite breaking news story. But we found out today what this government's going to do to replace 3Waters, or when 3Waters became the Affordable Water Act. Is it right? The Affordable Water Act, something like that.
The tap has been turned on for a new way of funding New Zealand's water services. Under the new model, council-controlled water organisations can receive immediate increased borrowing from the local government funding agency, up to 500% of the organisation's operating revenue. That's nearly twice as much as before. The water organisations have to be supported by their parent councils and meet credit criteria. The money, though, is ring-fenced for water projects only. It can't be spent on other things. The plan is for the debt to be paid back over the lifetime of the assets and infrastructure built.
I thought we didn't want to pass on expenses to our kids and grandkids. Thought that was the deal. Obviously not.
Spreading the cost across all its users over time. This, of course, is the replacement for the already repealed 3Waters plan, but opponents say it's just pushing councils further into debt. Here's senior political reporter Benedict Collins.
New Zealanders are demanding the government listen.
With the controversial 3Waters now well and truly spiked, today the government revealed how its plan to reform water services will be funded.
It's a win-win and it's going to make a huge difference.
Under local water done well, councils will be able to team up to deliver water services via council-controlled organisations and access capital together.
I just look at this photo and I go, is this like a bring your son to work day? That's how it feels when I see him talking next to the big boys.
He does a good job. He gets a lollipop.
Yeah, it's very good.
Through the local government funding agency at good rates.
Councils can act with urgency to avoid significant rate increases on 1 July next year if they take action and move quickly. And that's our expectation.
He knows in his heart of hearts that rates will go up.
Labour's convinced councils are being set up to fail.
The big difference here is they're letting them borrow more. But if councils already can't afford to do the work, they won't be able to afford to borrow more, and so they'll be in a worse financial situation.
And remember what Craig said, and who's going to do the work? So now they've got all the money that they've borrowed 500% against their assets, and because of what this government's done with infrastructure, all of the people that would have been doing that work have left, or those companies have downsized. So now that they've got all the money, how are they going to do the work?
Themselves, though, are more optimistic.
Really positive step. Good to see a number of finance and funding options being put on the table. Councils under a new structure being able to set up water entities which can borrow up to 500% of revenue is a good step.
And what will it mean for rates?
There won't be any immediate relief, but hopefully in the longer term, medium to longer term, we won't see the type of rate rises that have hit people pretty.
Which was exactly what 3Waters was doing. Remember, we showed you these charts and these graphs, and we was like, without 3Waters, with 3Waters, and the rate increases weren't going to be as harsh under 3Waters. I don't understand though, Chewy. I mean, people who have mortgages, you borrow a huge amount more. How all of a sudden that makes living in your property, your asset, that you're paying less for it in the future. I don't quite see how that works, but I don't know. I think that the same person had a bag of magic beans to sell as well. I thought I saw that in his pocket, maybe.
Pretty hard in the last wee while.
There isn't a special money tree which says you can achieve the investment that you need without any of us spending any money. We have to spend money, and so there will be an impact on rates.
Suggesting that. We're not children.
Labor spent 6 years, $1.25 billion, and didn't actually engage properly with the LGFA on finding alternative solutions.
It's local water unwell. I mean, it's just not going to work.
When it comes to our country's infrastructure, our two biggest political parties can't agree on anything.
And just remember, guys, old Simeon didn't quite say it there, but without one pipe being laid, yeah, that's because that was the planning stage. We've had this conversation now. We're going to keep talking about it. They were making the plans. They were drawing up the plans for the house. They hadn't built the house yet, but they were drawing up the plans, and that's what the cost. They didn't become a waste of money, not those exact words were used, until this government basically cancelled the building being built, the infrastructure being done. Chewy, thoughts?
Yeah, I saw a comment that I want to echo. it does annoy me that Labor was so ineffectual at combating the anti-3Waters stuff, where it was just out and out racism.
Yep.
And I can see that how effective that was. Even now, when you drive between, say, Timaru and Dunedin, you still see signs up going "Stop 3Waters." Of farms who are not connected to a town supply. It's not about you guys. It never was. But what you were worried was that Māori were going to come onto your farm and tell you how to use water.
Yeah.
That wasn't it. You didn't realize it. You let yourself get suckered into that. You let Groundswell tell you that that's what it was about, which was, again, the Taxpayers Union AstroTurf Group. Again, well done, guys, for not seeing that. That annoys me, that their messaging wasn't powerful enough to cut through that.
No question
just racism.
that they lost that narrative.